So this is a long overdue post. If you have not watched Ironheart, you are behind the times and I need you to get on it. Like, I don't know why they're tripping and waiting to release the second part, because the way it ended, we're not done. And I'm wondering if they're waiting for y'all to tune in and up the views and make so we can release it. So Ryan Coogler executive produced it, but the actual director was Angela Barnes, who was sitting there with the black shirt on. And then you have Chinaka Hodge, who was the head writer. What I love about her story, this is her first show. Your first show is a Marvel show? Then I found out, doing some digging, she's also a poet. So I found she did something on deaf poetry. I can't remember. I think it was called Deaf Poetry Slam, or basically it was like Deaf Comedy Jam, but it was poetry on HBO, which is super dope. So then there was an interview I came across trying to learn more information before I posted this, how this was a straight black woman collaborative project that made sure as much as possible it was very authentic. Like, one thing I love about, I think, the student in me is that not only do I watch movies, I go back and watch interviews to learn about the process, which if you're one of those people, go back and listen to interviews of people that you admire and you follow who do awesome, dope things to find out what was the processing behind it, the timing, the frustrations, the joys. So again, if you have not watched Ironheart, one thing that bothered me, I wouldn't say bother is the word. This is truly, Riri is truly a young person who is struggling through her emotions and is going to make some decisions that you're sitting there looking at like, girl, what are we doing? But that's a mature 40-something-year-old person. Sadly, not everybody who's older has common sense, but I digress. But I feel like this is a series everyone should watch, everyone should talk about, everyone should discuss, do a watch party and talk about it, especially with your girls. I think even with your guys too, but just how we sometimes find ourselves making decisions that we think is best for us because we're impatient in the process, not realizing that it's not the best for us, but who do we have in our circle to guide us and to make sure that we're making the right decisions, and who are we allowing to come into our circle? Because sometimes we have people in the village, but we don't let them go but so far. So as a result, we find ourselves rationalizing these decisions that make no sense, but because you're not listening to anybody and letting anybody in, you find yourself making some crazy decisions. Watch the show.